Hello, and welcome back to the English Master Channel podcast, your go-to destination for improving your English fluency. I'm your host, Kim, and I'm thrilled you're joining us today.
And I'm Pete. It's wonderful to have you with us for episode 5. We've got a really practical and useful topic lined up. Today, we're diving into the world of fashion and retail, a topic that is part of everyone's life, shopping for clothes.
That's right. Whether you're a fashion enthusiast or someone who just needs to buy a new pair of socks, you'll need the right vocabulary. We'll cover everything from useful phrases when you're in a physical store to the ins and outs of online shopping, including navigating sales and understanding complex return policies. So, Pete, to kick things off, let me start by asking you, are you a fan of clothes shopping?
Honestly, I find it can be a bit of a chore, a necessary task rather than a pleasure. I'm much more of an online shopper these days. A few clicks on my laptop or taps on my phone, and whatever I need arrives right at my door. It's just so efficient and saves me a lot of time.
I totally get that. But for me, I love the experience of going into a physical store. I like to feel the fabric, see the actual colors, and try things on. Sometimes I even go for a bit of retail therapy. I definitely see the appeal of efficiency, but don't you ever have issues with sizing? That's my biggest frustration with online shopping. I find that sizes can be so inconsistent between different brands. What's a medium in one shop is a large or even a small in another. It's a real gamble.
Retail therapy. That's a great phrase. It means shopping to make yourself feel happier. I've definitely done that online. That's true, but most online stores have a very easy returns process now. You just print a label, stick it on the original package, and send it back, often for free. It's a bit of a hassle, I admit, but I'd rather do that than spend a whole afternoon in a crowded, noisy shopping mall, especially on a weekend.
Exactly, and sometimes I'm not even buying anything. I'm just window shopping.
Right, just looking at the displays in the shop windows. The danger with that, at least for me, is the impulse buy. You see something you weren't planning to get, but you buy it anyway.
Impulse buys can be very tempting. So let's imagine we're walking into a big department store. What's the first thing we need to do?
Well, you need to navigate the different sections. You'll usually see signs for men's wear, women's wear, and children's wear. Sometimes there are also sections like footwear for shoes or accessories for things like bags and belts.
Right, and once you find an item you like, you'll probably want to try it on. You'll need to look for the fitting rooms or changing rooms.
Exactly. And inside, you might need some key phrases. You can ask a friend, "How does this look?" or "Does this fit me?"
And if it doesn't fit well, you can say, "It's a bit too tight," meaning it's too small, or "It's too loose," meaning it's too big. Another word for too tight is snug.
And what if you need a different size or color? You'll have to talk to a sales assistant.
Yes, you can say, "Excuse me, do you have this in a medium?" Or "Does this come in any other colors?"
Of course, sometimes a sales assistant will approach you first and ask, "Can I help you with anything?"
And if you don't need help, you can use the classic polite phrase, "I'm just looking, thanks," or "I'm just browsing."
An essential phrase for any shopper. Okay, so after all that, you found the perfect shirt, it fits perfectly. Now it's time to pay.
This is the moment of truth. You take your item to the checkout or the till, and this is where you hope to see a magic word, sale.
Right. Everyone loves a good bargain, which is an item that costs much less than its real value. You might see signs like 50% off or clearance sale.
Another good one is buy one, get one free. So at the checkout, the cashier will scan your items and tell you the total. Then they might ask, will that be cash or card?
And then some places they'll ask, "Would you like a bag?" It's also very important to get the receipt, which is the small piece of paper that shows what you bought and how much you paid.
Yes, always keep the receipt. Because what if you get home and realize you don't actually like the item or it has a flaw? You'll need the receipt to return it.
That's a great point. Every store has a return policy. Some stores will give you a full refund, which means you get your money back.
But others might only offer store credit, which is a voucher to spend in that same store, or an exchange where you can swap the item for something else of the same value.
It's always a good idea to ask about the return policy before you buy something, especially if it's expensive. This conversation actually reminds me of a terrible impulse buy I once made.
Oh, do tell.
It was this incredibly bright neon green sweater. I saw it on a mannequin and thought it looked so cool and trendy. I bought it without even trying it on.
Oh no, I can see where this is going.
When I got home, I realized the color made me look sick and it was super itchy. It's been sitting in the back of my closet for years, a total waste.
That's a perfect example of buyer's remorse, the feeling of regret after making a purchase. I have a tip to avoid that. If I see something I really want, especially if it's expensive, I make myself wait 24 hours before buying it.
That's a very smart strategy. It separates the real need from the impulsive want.
Exactly. Another tip is to explore secondhand or thrift shops. You can find really unique, high-quality items for a fraction of the price, and it's much better for the environment.
That's such an important point, Kim, and it brings us to a bigger conversation about the fashion industry itself. This idea of fast fashion versus sustainable fashion is a huge topic right now. The constant demand for new, cheap clothes has a massive environmental and ethical impact. That's a great question. For me, the biggest advantage is the sheer variety. Online, you have access to a global marketplace. You can buy from independent designers, international brands, or even directly from creators. You're not limited to what the local shops decide to stock. Plus, online reviews from other customers are incredibly helpful for judging quality and fit before you even think about buying.
That's a very important point. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new trend, but these fast fashion items are often not made to last. They wear out after just a few washes, so you're not really saving money in the long run.
A fantastic point. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today, from retail therapy to buyer's remorse.
We certainly have. But Pete, we've mostly talked about the process of buying. I think we should also touch upon what happens after the purchase and the bigger picture of the fashion industry. For example, you're a big fan of online shopping. What do you think are the biggest advantages besides just convenience?
That's all the time we have for this episode of the English Master Channel. Thanks so much for listening.
Join us next time for more tips on mastering English. Until then, bye for now.